So I want to welcome all of you to the call. Thank you so much for investing your time and money in this training. It's going to be great. The name of it's Marketing Mastery. It's a boot camp. I call it a boot camp because it's more than just a webinar, and it's less than a coaching program. And for the next 6 weeks, we're going to be working on marketing. We're going to be working on it both in theory and process and actually action. So welcome to all of you, and welcome to you who are going to be watching and listening to this on demand. That means at any point in time in the future, you'll be taking this training. So I want to welcome you and thank you for taking this training on. Just a few pieces of housekeeping for those of you who are live. I mentioned this earlier, but please try to keep the paper wrinkling like that to a minimum, if at all. Just know that phone mics, computer mics pick up a lot of noise. Make sure that you're in a quiet place, and even if you're typing notes on your computer, try to maybe get the keyboard away. That's just one of the limitations of doing this way. But you know what? Hey, you guys saved thousands of dollars. You didn't have to fly out here to San Diego to have me teach you. So we'll take that one. We'll look at that win. Any other aspects of housekeeping before we get started for any of you who are live? Any questions? So there's a chat screen. You'll see your control to start meeting up on your screen. And if you want to ask me questions, type it in there. Everybody can see it. I've got it. It's global. And you can certainly say, "Hey, Renee, I got a question." So please interrupt me. But if you don't feel comfortable, you can just sit and chat the question as well, and I'll try to see it as well. Take notes. Take plenty of notes. You will be getting each session's PowerPoint as a PDF. You can go back over this material again. You can take notes on it. You can apply notes. And you'll also get the link to this recording so that those of you live, you'll still have the on-demand version if you want to go back and re-listen to something or re-watch something. One of the things I highly recommend that you do is get a 3-ring binder and actually make yourself a marketing binder. You're going to be creating a marketing plan, calendars, just your step-by-step guide for doing marketing on an ongoing basis. So you want to actually, like everything you do around marketing, get it, 3-ring binder, whatever work you do, these assignments, put a 3-hole punch in it, stick it in that binder. I've got a couple of marketing binders just for my company, and they're both stuffed because I want to document everything we're doing, or our brands, our packages, all those kinds of things. I can't hold everything in my head, and neither can you. All right, with that, let's get started. I always have an intention for these because I want to make sure that we fulfill on the intention. So the first intention for this next 6 weeks is that you literally walk away with effective working knowledge and skills. And that means, effective means they actually get results. And that working knowledge and skills around the essential marketing functions of your business. I'm not going to be talking in generality terms of what might apply to an every business everywhere. I'm going to be talking in terms of how it applies to your specific business in this specific field that each of you are in, and how you can create a very personalized and customized marketing plan for you. I want you to be able to walk away having created a repeatable, easy-to-follow 12-month marketing plan. So why do we want it to be repeatable? What's important about that intention? Anybody? By the way, this is highly interactive, so if I have to ask a question, I would love somebody to speak up, and I don't care if it's the same person.
I would think you'd want it repeatable so you can apply it to a different practitioner, or to a different situation.
Absolutely. It apply it to another practitioner, another staff member, yourself. I don't know about you, but as I age, I get more wisdom, but I lose memory. Right? Mm-hmm. I can't remember what I did last year. I can't even remember what I did last month. I'm not going to try and remember this stuff. If I want to be able to have it repeatable, because hey, it's effective. So if something works, I want to be able to repeat it and see if it works again and again and again. And that's what marketing is, an ongoing thing in our business. Marketing is not a set-it-forget-it thing, like you flip on a light switch and that's it. So the other aspect of being repeatable is that we needed to become consistent. So why we create a 12-month marketing plan is so that we can have consistent action in regard to our marketing actions, to our business. Because if you can become consistent in your actions, you can also get consistent results. Ultimately, we want to produce consistent results in our business, consistent flow of income, consistent flow of clients, etc. The only way that we can produce consistent results is if you are consistent. So how you go is how your business is going to go. If you're not consistent because you don't have a plan to pull out and know exactly what to do, you won't be consistent and you won't produce consistent results. It'll be up and down, maybe yo-yo, maybe some years good, maybe some years not. We want to produce some regularity here, some predictability here. Finally, another intention is to have that you walk away with the skill and know-how to get a steady flow of ideal clients, right? I mean, this isn't this is really, the objective isn't here is to build the most beautiful marketing plan, right? Because I could build the most beautiful marketing plan, sit here in front of my computer day after day, create a nice binder. Oh, gosh, look at this. Isn't it beautiful? But if I don't apply it to get a steady flow of clients, then it's just an exercise in whatever. So ultimately, I want you to be able to get a steady flow of ideal clients. All right. So here's a few ways that I want you to keep in mind to get the best results and the best success and the best out of taking this program. The first thing is I want you to really bear in mind that intellectual knowledge will not create mastery. Since this is a course on marketing mastery, so I'm going to be delivering a lot of data. There's a lot of data here. You're going to be doing a lot of work as well so you can gain knowledge. But I really want to stress that knowledge won't do it for you. Knowledge is a starting point, but it's not going to get you where you want to be. You've got to practice each week what you learn, or it's just not going to move you to the next stage. I mean, kind of give a quick example. How well can you massage somebody if you've only read about it? Let's say somebody just takes out a how-to book from the library or the bookstore, and they never practice it. How good do you think they can get?
Not very.
No, not very good, because it's reading about it. Exactly. And I know that sounds kind of like, duh, that's obvious, because it makes sense to everybody. We all know that we have to practice massage to get good at it. But the same thing goes with your marketing. So if you're just going to listen to these sessions and think you can masterfully deploy the marketing, you'll probably be disappointed. So I really want to stress that it's the action, it's the practice. So if I give you something to do, please schedule time to do it, because it won't get done if you don't schedule it, all right? But knowledge just doesn't work that way. You have to apply it. You have to practice it. Mastery is built layer upon layer upon layer. You learn it, then you do it. Then you improve it. Then you do it some more. Then you improve it some more. Then you do it some more until layer after layer you have this mastery. It's so a part of your cellular memory. It's just part of who you are and what you do. And that takes a while to gain that deep mastery. So I would like a kind of verbal commitment from each of you that you will do the work each week that's part of this boot camp, and that you will practice something daily, because that's the only way to get good at marketing and attracting the clients you want. So just all of you collectively, you don't have to stand out, just like say, yeah, I'll do the work.
Yes, I'll do it.
Awesome.
Yep, I'm in.
Thank you very much. That will help me help you. All right, give you a quick overview of what we're going to cover the next 6 weeks. So each week we're going to get to review what we accomplished the week before. So next week, we're just going to review this week and just the work you did and answer any questions, listen to any insights and shifts that occurred so you guys get to share as well. So the first session we're going to be establishing is what marketing is. This is what today we're going to establish what marketing is, what it isn't. We're going to do some myth busting and get past some of those really pesky fears that you guys have around this topic and around basically some of the actions of marketing. You'll have a chance to complete some of those old views and those beliefs, right, so we don't have to keep carrying them around with us. One of the things you just have to understand about this is you actually can't ever master something or even get proficient at it if you hold views that are opposite to what is needed. So in other words, if you hold some very negative connotations or understandings, you may not even know it, around marketing, but you know you have to do it, like it cancels each other out. It's not going to happen. It's like trying to tell a vegan that they have to eat meat. So if I tell you that marketing is important, you have to market your business if you want to sell anything, if you want to get, if you want clients to buy from you, you have to market. And that's like me telling you have to eat meat, but then you say, but Renee, I'm a vegan. I can't eat meat. Right? It's not going to happen. So we have to complete some of those old beliefs so you can make a shift around marketing and see what it really is, not what your old beliefs tell you it is. So we're going to get to the bottom of those challenges and just some of the issues you've had around marketing. The next session, so next week, is all about those clients you want. We're going to dive into who they are. Who are they really? And you're going to get really clear on who they are and what they want. And you're going to learn how to describe their problems as though you have them. And you're going to get so clear about your solutions. Plus, you're going to start to create a vocabulary, a language, a different language than what you're carrying in your head. You're going to learn their language so you can actually connect with them. And we're going to build, during session 2, we're going to build a foundation for all your marketing messages. Plus, your homework will go along with that, too. Plus, and once you've come up with these messages, you can use them everywhere. You can use them in your speaking. You can use them on your website, in Facebook, on whatever you do that involves the act of when you put on your marketing hat, as a business owner. Third session, that's when you're going to start formulating your own marketing plan, and you're going to get into some very specific actions, and actions that can pretty much produce immediate results. You're going to learn to do this stuff from more of a strategic perspective, from the why-driven approach, not from the knee-jerk, seat-of-pants, panic mode. Oh, my God, I got to do this. I see what they're doing. Maybe I should do that. I don't want to. So you're going to learn, why. Then 4 and 5, we're going to still keep taking actions, keep crafting your marketing plan. You're going to get an already pre-done marketing plan that you're going to start to customize and craft and make a few tweaks just to make it yours. And then you're going to be improving on some of the results of your practice. These weeks involve a lot of practice, but it's fun, right? You'll see, because you'll be learning to do this from your heart. Some of you are already doing this, but you just don't know. You think you probably should be doing something else, so you second-guess yourself. Through 3 through 5, you're going to be there's going to be a lot of what and how, and that marketing plan is going to include a lot of these details. So you have a step-by-step approach. In the final session of the boot camp, we're going to sort of put it all together. We're going to go over some of the more advanced forms of marketing, what people tend to jump to right now. They jump to the advanced stuff, and they don't even do the basics. And it's why they don't get very good results. So we're going to look a little bit about that and learn the truth about what works, what doesn't work, and you can stop using what doesn't work and learn how to track yourself, learn how to assess, what's working, what's not working. All right. You guys ready to go then?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go. How much time did I usually use? 20 minutes. Okay. So what are your biggest challenges around marketing? Let's discuss those. What are some of the big bugaboos? and I just want to hear, a couple of you, what you're dealing with. So I'm going to start with you, Sharon. By the way, I call on you on these calls, but because I can't see you, I'm going to call on you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I think one of my biggest challenges is communicating to this particular community.
Okay, so just not knowing what to say and how to say it.
Well, it's a small town, and the population it's kind of a small inner town. You have to go an hour to get to any larger city, and it's although the town is growing, it's a little slow to grow. And the knowledge about just the word or the thought process of just massage is not.
Do they connotate it with the skin trade, you mean?
With what?
Skin trade?
Skin trade?
Yeah, like I don't know.
Oh, you mean like no, like
Vice and narcotics.
Like a massage
that
parlor?
Crowd.
Like a massage parlor?
Yes, exactly.
No, not that at all.
More spa-like, you mean?
It's more like an educational thing or an awareness.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, great. So your challenge is just getting communicating it to the small town in a way that they can hear it and actually see what's in it for them, see how it's going to benefit them.
Exactly, and be able to integrate it for themselves.
Got it. Very good. Good. This will be good for you, though, and then you're going to see some ahas. What are some other challenges that you're having? I know some of you wrote to me some of those challenges, but kind of share some of those with the group here.
Are you asking me or the group?
No, I'm just asking everybody. So, Mark Joseph, I'll call on you. What's kind of your biggest bugaboo, problem, challenge around marketing?
Well, it's when I notify my group through my email list or my Facebook group. It's not to be sounding too much like a salesman. When I have events, I don't want to sound like a salesman or that I need people to come.
Okay, got it.
So that's my challenge, not to feel that way.
Don't sound like salesman. Or shall we say used car salesman, easy salesman? Does it conjure up all of that stuff for you?
Yeah, somewhat.
All right, got it. All right, very good. Melody, you don't have challenges, do you?
Well, yes.
Okay, what are they?
So in the last few months, I've gotten comfortable with meeting with people and getting to know them and visiting, so professional people in my community. But what I don't get from that is a referral. So,
okay.
We meet, we have a good time and we get to know each other, but I don't get referrals off that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So your challenge is that you're trying to build these relationships, but no one's really taking. It may be we need to just fine tune what you're saying because it may be you're just not being direct enough.
That would be my guess. Yeah.
You guys, it's okay to be direct. It's okay to ask for what you want. For some reason, in my experience as a coach, I run into that a lot. People not feeling comfortable asking for what they want, and who knows where that comes from, but you can shift it. I'm going to pause here for a second. Abby, did you just make it on?
I did.
Awesome.
Hi.
Having any trouble?
Well, my internet was down, and I thought I was going to be able to see you, but now I'm thinking maybe I could have just called in.
You could have called in. Yep.
Okay.
That's okay.
So that was much to do about nothing. Anyway, I've got.
Well, you're going to see my screen.
I do see your screen. Okay.
You won't see me.
Oh, darn it.
You see my screen.
Okay.
I have a webcam, but I have a few people I do Skype with, but I'd much rather whatever. Okay. Let's dress up. Who likes to dress up?
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome. We're just going through now we're kind of getting some of the challenges out there. Like, all right, here's what I got. So, Abby, what's your challenge? Some challenges around marketing you're having.
Oh, I'm finding I'm trying to do workshops and then tie it in with a product at the end. And I guess one of the things is I'm not exactly sure how to let a whole community know that I'm coming to town.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happened this last time is that I split my market. I wasn't focused enough. I did practitioners and clients, and that just sort of unraveled into not very much.
Okay. It sounds like what you need to distinguish, and this is kind of for all of you too, is what you're actually marketing, right? So the aspect of getting people to buy a product in the context of the workshop is more of a sales conversation, right? It's more of an enrollment conversation. And somebody's making a lot of noise. Be careful with your mic. We need to, which we're going to do tonight, is distinguish that, from marketing and understanding what it is you're marketing and what even marketing means. So we'll get to that, because a lot of your challenges, all of you, stem from not really understanding even what the role of marketing is. We collapse marketing into all kinds of other things, but particularly sales. And marketing is not sales. They're two distinctly different functions, and marketing must come before the other, and we'll show you what that is. And then try to apply some of this to some of your very unique issues and situations going on. Okay, so let's look at, again, we were going over some of your challenges and obstacles. Some of you have a lack of something, right? Too much of something else. The lack of knowledge, that could be an obstacle. Lack of feeling comfortable, lack of confidence. Somebody is making some noise with their machine. If your mic is on your computer and you're moving your computer, we're picking it up here. So please be mindful of that if you're actually touching any of your computer, because the mics are really weird. Okay. There's usually, some of them are internally derived concerns, like not enough, whatever, I don't know how to do it, it's hard. These are some of the challenges too that I've heard from some of you and read from some of you. So let's explore your context. What's your context? What do you feel about marketing? For some of you, I'm not going to call you on the spot. I'm just going to read your stuff, and I'm not going to say your name. Right? For some of you, it's like, I don't like it. I really don't. I don't like it because I'm trying to sell something. I'm trying to get money, and I don't like that. I don't like that feeling. So that's your context. Or, gosh, I have a lot of fear around it. I don't like to market. Hey, I love educating people though. So I don't like to market. I don't feel confident. Those are all things that get in your way. Those are all what's in your space, what's in the context. And when we bring that in, that's where we do marketing from. Our context, basically, let me explain context. Context is kind of something that's very decisive. I hear some beeping in the background and like a window unrolling. So if you guys are going to have any background noise, please keep it mute. Please mute yourself, basically, because it does get noisy. Anyway, so context is decisive. It literally will determine the outcome of everything it's connected with. So if your context is that of fear, or I don't like it, or I don't enjoy it, or I think it's somehow sleazy, or it's connected with something dirty, that's how you're going to be. So how do you think it will go if your context is, I don't like it? How do you think it'll go? I don't like marketing.
Well, you may not do it at all.
Exactly. You're probably not even going to do it at all. What is your context if you feel scared about it? What will happen if every time you think about marketing, you get this fear rippling through your body?
Nothing.
Yeah, it's just not going to go well. So all the things we talked about, like I don't know what to do, I don't have confidence, I know what to do in that context but not this context, or in that arena but not this arena. So all those unknowns, all those concerns are going to be your context. So what I'd like to have you guys do is be able to complete your ongoing current context around marketing, that already existing sense or feeling that you have, that connotation you have, and just kind of let it go. And and then the next question is, well, how do you let it go? How do we shift that context? If I have that, if I have fear around it, if I think it's being pushy, if I think all these things about it, how do I shift it? You want to know what my answer is to that? How do you shift your context to something more powerful? Because right now, all the things you guys shared with me, most of what you guys share with me is not a very powerful context, which means what's going to happen next is not going to be very powerful. You're not going to have a good outcome.
I think you need to make a plan.
Excuse me?
Make a plan.
Yeah, definitely make a plan, but it's tough to make a plan when you're afraid to.
Well, you might also have to be open to dropping your belief.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for that. Be open to consider that you might have a belief about it and that maybe that could shift. So here's, again, this is your marketing nutritional pyramid, right? It's fear. This is what you guys are feeding on, right? Instead of the, that food pyramid where you have grains and legumes and then whatever. Fear, nervous, I don't like it. I kind of think it's wrong. It's sort of what's happening is you're making it into a shouldn't. Or, it's bad, it's wrong. And at the same time, you're needing it. And so you caught in this catch-22, which is basically canceling each other out. So what do we do about that? You basically create a new context. Name it. That's it. It seems so silly, stupidly silly, but you just name a new context. You just decide that you're going to create a new context. Doesn't mean you're going to decide to like it. You're going to decide to create a new context, so how you feel about it is irrelevant. So what do I mean by that? Well, the first thing, the easiest context I like to apply is I'm here to make a difference. That's a very powerful context. Making a difference for another human being. If I do everything and I have that agenda, then it's not a personal, private agenda. It's not about me. I'm here to make a difference for others. So if you can think about your business, about your marketing, about everything about your business. Oh, sorry, I need to read my chat. Hang on one second. Oh, you guys are, okay. What the best way to share, educate words. Okay, got it. So you guys see what I mean? If you could just come from that simple place, I'm here to make a difference. So just with this short conversation, what can you start seeing about about a context? What could you decide to have as a context? You can take that one because it's a pretty powerful one. So Abby, I'll start with you, Abby, and I'll go to Melody because you guys have worked with me before. what could you have as your context so you can start to, everything now you put together from here on out can have a bit of a powerful foundation to it?
Something like my goal is to empower people to take care of themselves, or to create healthy, vibrant lives.
That's beautiful. That's a great context. I'm here to empower. I empower people to live healthy, vibrant lives. That's who I am. Whenever I do my business, whenever I step into the arena of my business, that's the role I'm playing. That's the context I'm coming from. That's the domain I'm coming from. So write that down. That's good. You can even keep it short. I empower people. It's very similar to making a difference. Melody, name a context that you can come from for this whole series of the next, these 6 sessions, and from working on your marketing.
One thing for me is not to be worried about what other people think about me or the kind of work I do, is to be confident that this is what I do and I'm putting it out there regardless of what they think about it.
Okay. So that's a slight negative spin, like not be concerned about what other people think.
Oh,
so
okay.
Can you put it into a power, proactive, positive word context?
Not off the top of my head. I need to think about it a little bit.
That's okay. No, just maybe, okay, so write that down. It's something you want to look at.
Okay.
It can be quite simple. Like I said, you guys, it can just be, I'm here to make a difference. If you don't like it, if you don't like what I'm doing in my particular way, I'm not living your life. That's okay. Who cares?
Okay, then I'm here to make a difference.
Good. Beautiful. Rachel.
Okay, and I have to say hi to Abby.
Hi, Rachel.
Hey there. Okay, so I would say I'm here to educate and empower people to reach their highest potential.
Beautiful. Then from that place, you're going to be, every time you touch the concept marketing, you're going to bring that context into the present moment. And I'll tell you something about context too. Your habit is the other. Just know, everybody, your habit is to have fear, intimidation, I don't like, this is somehow wrong, this is weird, whatever. So you have to create a new habit, and it's going to take time. So I would write that context down. I would put it on sticky notes everywhere, on everything you have in your business. Put that so you condition yourself over and over and over and over and over again. Repetition matters. To re-educate yourself around the context of that you're going to come from when it comes to marketing. Who cares what somebody else comes from? They can have a selfish agenda. It doesn't bother you. You come from your own powerful context. And just write it down and remind yourself. Great. Mark Joseph.
The context I want to come from is to believe that I'm sharing something valuable, something that will touch people's hearts.
So you're going to come from the context of high value and touching people's hearts.
Yes.
Everything you do is about that. Good. I like that one. Sharon. Miss Knowles.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's okay.
Well, mine's it's pretty simple. There's nothing profound to it or anything, but I'm just here to make therapeutic massage available to everyone, and to and also to bring the awareness of the value of it to in everybody's life. And when I say everybody's, I'm speaking of my community specifically.
In who specifically?
In my community.
In your community.
Area.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So you have a much a more expanded community-centric context. So great. Very good. So you want everybody in your community to be healthy and vibrant, and you're coming from that place. Good. All right, and did I leave anybody out? I got everybody, right? Okay. So good. So write those down and remember every time you're going to be working on marketing, you're coming from that context. So when you're going into your planning, just keep bringing that context present. So again, let's keep looking at the negative side of marketing because I want to just get it all out so we can get it out of our space, right? So marketing is not a flyer or flyers.
Thank God.
What?
Thank goodness.
Yes. An advertisement in the local paper, Facebook likes, or your website. Now, these can be components of marketing, but they're not marketing. They're not the thing. So when I'm coaching people, sometimes I'll, okay, what are you doing for marketing? Oh, I've got flyers out. And that just tells me, okay, well, you don't have any marketing then. All right. Blogging or tweeting, handing out business cards. Again, those are components of a marketing strategy and plan, but they're not the sole aspect of marketing. Getting your name out there, that's not marketing. Yelp is not marketing. Convincing people to do business with you, that's not marketing either. So if you thought it was, guess what? You can relax. You can go home and breathe a sigh of relief. I don't have to do that anymore. Because that's not what marketing is. Marketing is not selling or sales either. So again, breathe a sigh of relief. I don't have to sell anybody anything because I'm just marketing. All right. Again, let's get out of the way all the marketing myths and mistakes so that we can start building a true, powerful marketing plan from the right connotation. If you build something on an incorrect premise or a faulty premise or a faulty foundation, it's just not going to go well. We're going to try to get all this stuff, clean it up, and build a good foundation. So one of the biggest marketing mistakes that happens a lot is assuming that your marketing should be about you and your process. So how many of you have, gone out there and just started talking about how great massage is for people? And if you do a specialty kind of body work, or a specialty kind of yoga, or any kind of specialty kind of anything, trying to explain the process. So here's what it might look like. We provide you the very best massage in town. Right, there's nothing wrong with that. Sounds good to me. But in your initial marketing message, it's all about you. We're Atlanta's premier studio. Everybody loves us. Oh, that's nice. Everybody loves you. Next. Like, I'm flipping the page if I'm seeing that in an ad somewhere. Like, okay, that's nice. Next. We have the best trainers in town. Wow, good for you. I'm really proud of you. Next. It doesn't grab me. It doesn't grab my attention. It's like nice. I'm not, there's nothing wrong with it, but it didn't bring me anywhere. So your messages first should be about your client's needs, your client's wants, their worries, their concerns. That should be in the message. Your ideal client's primary concern isn't you. They want to know what you can do for them and how you can help them expand, either financially, physically, emotionally, and they want to know if you can solve a problem for them, their problem, not any problem. I'm like, hey, we solve problems. Okay, well, that's, again, too vague. Next mistake. In your initial marketing messages or conversations is that you describe your work or your process, or you want to be accurate about explaining your process. So what does that look like?
Me, Abby. Ugh.
What? Is that you, Abby?
Yeah. I mean, you know that well.
Well, give us an example of how you've been doing that.
Well, I get all wrapped up in it's making, like, I really want everybody to understand the in-depth processes of myofascial release and on and on and on, and then
right.
they're just like glazed over and leaving the room.
That's okay. Get it. Remember, we're talking about a marketing mistake. That's okay if that's your client already and you're educating them. The problem is you just have it in the wrong order. Don't stop doing that for any of you. But get it in the right order. if you're sending, if Mark Joseph, you're sending out some Facebook postings or any kind of conversation or reaching out, it has to be different in the marketing language. Has to be different than now they're in your room, they're on your mat, they're in a workshop with you, they're in a retreat with you. That's different. Now you can actually now we can get into some real stuff. So here's an example. We start by addressing your core and educating your body and muscles to pay attention to each other. I just lost interest myself. It's a marketing message, mind you, not as I have a relationship with this person. That's a different part of the relationship. Or we work on the deeper fascial layers, releasing blocks that interfere with alignment and ease of movement. It probably sounds familiar to some of you, but that shouldn't be in your marketing conversations even. Like when you first meet somebody and they start talking, well, tell me about rolfing. Well, tell me about myofascial release. And you go into that. That's, again, that was the other mistake. Let's go to the previous one again, assuming that your marketing should be about you and your process. This doesn't give people a reason to contact you. Eyes glaze over. You even said it, Abby. And people stop listening or reading, because clients don't care about the process at first. So marketing should get and keep people's attention, and you do that by making it about them and their world. Later, you can educate them in a more thorough way. All right, mistake number 3, and this is the number one killer. Trying to sell when you should just be marketing. So for some of you who are having trouble, you were collapsing sales and marketing and thinking one had to be the other. And another sort of a sub-point to number 3, I call it 3B, if they don't buy from you immediately, you let them walk out without engaging them. So if you have a shop or a studio, it's like, oh, okay, bye. Right? There's nothing out. You have no follow-up engagement to build a relationship with. It's just they didn't buy from you. Because you thought that once they said no, that's it. Or you thought once you first engage them, somehow the sale has to happen right away. No, it doesn't. That's why it's the number one killer. Here's some examples. These are different programs. When would you like to start? I'm talking about the marketing, the front leading edge communication with your market. I'm not talking about you've built a relationship with them and now you're explaining the different programs because they've asked about it. I'm just talking about the leading. It's a really good program, event, product. You should try it. Please try it. All right, so I found this quote by Stephen Covey. Basically, in your marketing, provide useful information to people. Provide them insights, especially to the people you want to do business with, without worrying if you're going to get paid for it. In other words, your marketing and those initial engagements are about helping, not selling. You can literally let go of needing, having, feeling like you should, but you don't want to because you shouldn't, whatever. Let go of all that because it's not even necessary. Here's what marketing is. We're now going to start to shift into allowing you to see or helping you to recreate what marketing truly is. And here's a continuum. It's like a chart that will kind of give you that sense. Marketing starts right here. The potential client is out there somewhere, and your marketing is supposed to engage them and catch their attention. That's it. Just catch attention at first. Later, after you've caught their attention because you said something that mattered to them, it was in their world, and we'll go over that here in a bit, you begin to build interest. So marketing's mainly about building interest. Getting down here to desire and close is more about sales conversation. And finally, you close the sale and you have a client. But believe me, there's a huge gulf between your marketing and selling or sales, or the client buying from you. Oh, I thought I had something here. So it's about building the relationship. So it's not a flyer, it's not a newsletter, it's not an email, it's not Facebook. It's a relationship. And just like any relationship you have to build, it takes time and it takes layers. And just think of it that way. Right? When you start dating, you start to get interested in each other. You ask questions. You find out about each other's interests. That's all that marketing is. You guys have been marketing all along. You're beautiful at creating relationships because of who you are. That's all you have to do. You just now have to do it in a very special way, in a very conscious way. And I'll show you what those are. So here's the definition of marketing. And the process, systems, structures, and conversations which create interest and uncovers a need and a desire for your product or service. I will repeat that. And by the way, you'll have this as a PDF, so you don't need to write it down unless you want to. You can drive it into your cells, that's fine. Marketing are the processes, systems, structures, and conversations which create interest and uncovers a need or a desire for your product or service. So if marketing isn't sales, then what is sales? So what's that distinction between marketing and sales so you can just really keep them separate and not try to fall and not mistakenly fall into the other? Marketing is like this. I mentioned dating just a minute ago. Marketing is, and sorry I have to do this from the guy point of view because when I was young and growing up, I didn't ask people out, they asked me out, guys. So marketing is the guy asking the girl out. And I don't care how you guys mix that up. It's asking the other person out and getting a phone number. That's marketing. I'm metaphoring, by the way. It's getting the phone number. If she's interested, she'll give the phone number. And if she's not, she won't. And then next, if she's not ready to go out to dinner yet, it's asking the girl out and getting the phone number. The next phase of that building that relationship, where we go back to this, is in the relationship development, is getting the date, sending flowers, that kind of thing. Oh my gosh, I have to tell you this story. My husband took off for the weekend. I'll be meeting him later after my work day on Friday. And it was kind of such a rush, so I didn't really get to say goodbye to him. Anyway, I go in just before this call. I go into the other room, and there's a huge box sitting there on the counter. He'd left me a Valentine's gift. So he's still building a relationship. Right? Marketing. It was very, very sweet. Oh, and it was something that I had seen in a particular store several months ago, and like, oh my God, look at these. These are so great. No, I can't afford it. I'm not going to buy it. Or I don't know if I can't afford it. No, I'm not going to spend the money on that. He remembered. Isn't that cool? Okay. And okay, so marketing is that. And sales is when she says yes to going out to dinner, and you pick her up at 8 o'clock, and she walks out the door, and there's your date. Right? That's sales. Sales is not, hi, my name is John. You want to jump into bed? And that's what some of you have been doing, right? So be honest. How many of you have been wanting your prospective clients to jump into bed with you? I know it's kind of an odd, weird kind of analogy, but really it's so apt. So, how many of you are trying to sleep with your customers like a one-night stand with someone you don't know? So, again, there's a whole continuum, a whole set of relationships, attention, interest, desire, and then the ask, then the close. So how many of you are having a hard time just getting the phone number? That's what we've got to first get the phone number. So
I do. This is Abby for the Arinda, which I've been struck with. But anyway, for that, I don't get the phone number. I don't even ask for the phone number.
Exactly. You're asking to jump in the bed. You don't ask for the phone number. Okay. So in my experience as a coach, people have a struggle just getting a phone number, right? But when they're meeting people, they're trying to jump right in the sack right away. So we got to get all that separated out and sorted out and get it all in the right order.
Renee?
Yes, sir.
I have a lot of people, I have a lot of phone numbers. I have a lot of email addresses. I have a large email group and Facebook group. My problem is getting them to come to my events.
Yeah.
So would that be the selling part?
Yeah, getting them to come. Yep, getting the girl to accept a date and having her actually show up is the sales part. Absolutely. You have to build. Let's go back to that. There has to be a building of interest. There's a lot of time spent right here on the interest circle. Between interest and desire, there's a lot of work that has to be done, and that's what we're going to start working on this session and the next session. You guys haven't been doing any of that work because you didn't know what it was. All you knew was, I need a client. How do I get them as fast as possible? How do I get the chick in my bed as fast as possible, right? That, again, sorry for the analogy, but it's actually quite
I don't know. It's working for me.
It's working for you. Okay, good. So Mark Joseph, we'll lay out what that has to be for you.
Okay.
Right. And some of it is just the fact that some of those tactics may not be the most powerful and effective, but we'll take a look at them. All right, so now we kind of went over the distinction between sales and marketing. So let's dive into how to start creating a much more powerful, dynamic marketing approach. All right, so marketing, basically you can take one hand and hold it in front of you. How many fingers you guys have? 5, right? Okay. So there's your 5 steps to know how to market well. You got to know the who, the what, the how, the when, and the how often. And you're going to build all that. Now, really there's 6. It's the why starts first. The why is your sales goal. And I'm going to assume that all of you have a sales goal for your business or for your revenue stream, whatever you want to build out. So don't do marketing until you actually know what you're doing marketing for. In other words, the why. There has to be an objective. There has to be a purpose. Marketing standing alone is meaningless. Then it turns into, how many people can get into my bed. So why, so that's why I skipped it, because why is really part of the annual planning seminar that we do. So I'm going to assume that you all have a sales goal for your year and for your business. Sales goal and a how many people goal. And Mark Joseph, that may be one of your issues, is that you're not very clear, crystal clear, on exactly how many people you want. You're just doing stuff and hoping you get a full room, but it's that full room, those 2 words mean vague. So you have to first start out with very specific numbers. So good outcomes begin with clear strategy, where you want to head, why, and how. And I'm talking clear, crystal clear. And that clarity starts with who. You've got to know your who very, very, very well. Shall I put another very in there? So we're going to start you guys out. Your foundation is going to start being built by describing your ideal client, your ideal candidate, your ideal prospect, your target market. Call it what you want. Target market's more broad. So Sharon, with you, you have a really good niche. You've started with a niche which is 10 steps ahead of of anybody else who doesn't have one. However, you still have a notion that it's everybody. And we got to get it out of our heads that we're marketing to everybody, because I tell you, everybody is not your client, and they never will be. And if you try to market to everybody, your marketing will be so diffuse and so vague and so general, you won't draw anybody. So all of you bear that in mind. It's why we're going to describe our ideal client, our ideal prospect for our revenue stream, our product, our service, our project, our business. So, and Mark Joseph, this might apply to you. Each of your things may draw a different kind of individual. The meditation things might draw one kind of person with a set of particular profiles or characteristics, and your trance dance may draw something different, and your kirtans may draw somebody different. So you guys actually want to differentiate and distinguish that there may be different types of people for each of your different types of revenue streams. So Abby, for you, if you're going to bring people into Arenda as a team, that's a lot different of a profiled person than somebody who's going to come to your workshops and learn self-care, or somebody who will take the products.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.
Right. So, again, before we can craft any marketing messages, whether spoken or written, we have to know who we're speaking to. We have to understand their language, which means we kind of have to create our way of what their language is. So here are some questions, and we're going to go over these. Who are my ideal clients, and what do they want? This is the work you guys are going to be doing this week. You're going to really define this stuff. Who are they? What do I know about them in their life? What specific problems, issues, needs, desires do they have? Issues or anything they want to solve? Any goals they want to achieve? And what do I help them do to achieve those goals or solve those problems? So clarity about the above is absolutely everything. It's going to determine your marketing plan. And again, it's the lack of clarity in these areas that as to why either you're not confident at marketing, you haven't had good luck with it, you haven't had maybe good results with it. So that's where we're going to start at the beginning. All right, who are they? So Sharon, tell me, who are your ideal clients? Tell me a little bit about them. Sharon? Okay, Rachel, tell me about your ideal client.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Okay, Sharon, go ahead.
Yeah, I had to move, so my husband came in and the dogs go all crazy. My ideal clients.
Well, who are they? Just start with talking about, like, describing them. Are they a particular kind of, do they have a particular kind of profession? Are they professionals? Are they business owners? Are they moms? Who are they?
No, my ideal clients, and the reason I use everyone is my ideal clients are the clients that are turned away by other massage therapists because they either have cancer and they're in treatment, or they have had cancer, they've had surgery and or treatment, or they have some other kind of medical conditions, and the other massage therapists in the community, they won't work with them.
Okay, beautiful. That's something very important to know. Who are they? All right, so one they, you guys can have many theys, but for one they are cancer, either they're cancer patients or cancer survivors, and just leave it at that, like they have cancer, okay, or they've had cancer or they're in some kind of therapy or treatment. Good. It's extremely targeted. That's what we're looking for. Rachel, who are they?
Okay, this is a very new practice for me. It's wellness coaching. Mm-hmm. And so these would be clients who have failed most weight loss and exercise programs, or whenever they encounter a block, they just drop the program.
Okay, so they have had trouble losing weight, and are they, how much weight, are they, how obese are they? Do they have, is that the designation, or how much weight are we talking about?
This is good. I would say anywhere between thinking they are 5 to 50 pounds overweight.
Okay. 5, that's not very much at all. Okay, well, that's fine. That's because them. They're the ones who, they think they need to lose weight. They think they have the problem, mm-hmm. and they feel like they keep failing at it. Right?
Right.
Good.
Right.
I'm not going to call on everybody. I just want to get a few. I just want you guys to kind of get the feel for this, because I want you to go back this week and start working on that. I'll have some exercise formats for you. But Mark Joseph, who are they?
I have different types of groups. Like you said, I have different events that targets different types of people. I have a meditation retreat coming up, so people that are attracted to that would be spiritually minded people who want to cultivate a meditation practice.
Okay, so hang on. When you say spiritually minded, what kinds of spiritual paths might they subscribe to? You guys, I want you to start to dial this in so it's really even more specific when you're describing your mm-hmm. who are they. So if they're spiritually minded, that's great. We're getting down. We're really starting to specify. But let's go even further. What kinds of spiritual groups are they a part of paths, of churches, or whatever?
Well, it's usually those that don't belong to any specific tradition. They're just open to exploring.
They don't belong. So they they're
more intuitive. They're more their own person.
Do they subscribe to any kinds of magazines, or do they go online and they frequent certain things? Again, the more you know about your potential audience, the easier it is to market to them. So that's why I'm asking these questions in this way. Who are they? So they're spiritually minded. What else do you know about them? What do you know about their life? And that's our next question really is, what do you know about them and their life? Anything from anything. Get nosy. Get as, because this is all your inquiry. This is your chance in your private room to get as nosy as absolutely possible about who these people are. So what are some other characteristics?
Well, they're usually female.
Okay, female. Might these people hang out at yoga studios?
Yes.
Very much so, huh?
Well, that's most of them I attract from yoga classes.
Yeah. What other ancillary fields would your ideal client be in besides yoga?
I'm sorry?
What other ancillary fields, related fields, might your clients? We know they're female.
Well, they actually do some type of like they're usually massage therapists or.
Oh, good. So now you know something else: massage, yoga.
They do some type of spiritual work.
Okay, acupuncturist.
Mm-hmm.
That's not necessarily spiritual, but
Reiki practitioners.
Yeah. So start to ask yourself these questions and write these things down. I mean, they may have been fleeting thoughts in our head before, but we didn't just write them down. Oh, there's a characteristic. Oh, there's a characteristic. Oh, there's something about them. We're going to start to actually make this tangible. And when you write something down, it becomes much more grounded, concrete, and tangible. Good. Anybody else have anything they want to share about what they know about them and their life? About, who are they for you?
Well, I just wanted to add, I just had a major breakthrough, an idea.
Good.
That came in. I think my ideal client is just to kind of add on to it, is someone who has failed multiple exercise programs due to a history of chronic pain. Because I think for me that's what I find as a practitioner, one of the missing links.
Good. So failed an exercise program due to chronic pain.
Like they've had low back pain for years, and no one's really taught them how to properly work out and taught them from the ground up.
Right. Good.
And they're usually very highly educated professionals.
Really good distinction there. And if that's part of each of yours, for all of you on this training, write that down. Highly educated. What else? You said highly educated and intelligent. Is that what you said?
Yeah, they've got great insurance, so they want to be insurance based, which kills me.
Well, it doesn't matter. We can get around that. Highly intelligent people are going to make highly intelligent, we hope, decisions, especially if they're educated correctly. And that's, we get into educating them a little bit later, especially in a sales conversation. But good, those are good identifications, good distinctions. What specific problems, and you've already named some of them now, Rachel, but for each of you, identify any specific problems, issues, needs, desires, goals that they have, that they want to solve, that they want to achieve. Something that they have, something they have and they don't want, or something they want but they don't have. So a goal and an achievement or a desire would be something they want but don't have. A problem, a challenge, that's something they have and they don't want. Identify some of that. So, Melody, what would be a specific problem or issue that your ideal client would have?
Chronic pain.
Hmm?
Chronic pain.
Okay, chronic pain. Abby?
A depleted immune system.
Depleted immune system. And how, and I'm going to say this for both depleted pain and chronic pain and depleted immune system. Give me some specifics. Because again, if you're talking to people about, your programs or anything like that, and hey, what do you do, Melody? Oh, I will help with people with chronic pain. Oh, that's nice.
Okay,
oh, really?
So,
okay. Name it.
So
what?
Autoimmune challenges.
Well, I know, but name them. You can't just say all. It's just like when I was telling Sharon, it can't be everybody. You have to say, oh, I work with cancer survivors or cancer.
Oh, right, okay. Well, there you go.
By the way, when I said it can't be everybody, I don't mean that you can't treat everybody. And I'm not saying even that that's not accurate. I believe that every body should have body work and massage. I'm a big believer in that. What I am specifically distinguishing is in your marketing messages, you have to be very specific in your marketing messages. That you want everybody to benefit from massage is a more philosophical value and belief you have. But don't put all that in your marketing message because it doesn't belong there because they can't hear it. They can only hear what's about them. I have cancer. That's all that's in my world. Or I have name some immune challenge. Abby.
I have gone totally blank.
Hashimoto. See, you've already marketed to me, Abby, because I have autoimmune.
Okay. Yeah, Hashimoto. I mean, I went totally blank. It was like.
Okay, good. So great.
Okay, help me.
You got
arthritis. Yeah, arthritis.
Identify with those things.
MS. There's all kinds of.
That. And when you say that in any kind of marketing message, whether it's spoken, written, whatever, they pay attention because oh, that's me. What is she saying about that? What's she saying about me?
Okay.
Our ears are always tuned to me. All right, let's move on because I'm well behind time. And what do I do to help them achieve it or solve it? You've got to identify that. And again, try to be more specific. If you do a lot of different things, name each of those specific things that apply to each different problem. What do I do to help them achieve or solve it? Some of you, like Sharon, I bet anything, you don't just do body work. I bet you do a lot of counseling. I bet you do a lot of support work, just in your speaking and your holding space. So you want to identify some of that, how valuable it is. Mm-hmm. Okay, so again, who are my clients and what do they want? That's the main question we're trying to answer here and get clear about. So, I think Melody and Abby, this is going to look familiar to you, but I still want you to do it again. This is the homework you're going to have. You guys are going to describe your ideal client. You're going to create a profile for them. And this is a questionnaire you're going to get sent. And I want you to answer these questions. Some of them might apply, some of them don't. Who cares? They're just to prompt you to come up with a set of characteristics about and lifestyle things that your ideal client has. Remember, if the ideal client is somebody you don't know yet. And in fact, actually, they may be somebody you know. Go look to your favorite clients, the clients you absolutely love, that are with you today. They love you. They pay you. Look to them. What's going on? And who are they? And that you can find a lot of those characteristics in those people. I can just rattle off my favorite clients. What is so phenomenal about having that kind of client, and how when the client is ideal, I do my best work, really, and you probably do too. So this is a questionnaire that'll help you identify those things, and then what you're going to do, don't laugh at all my yadas, you're going to create a sheet of paper on your own. Again, you can put this in your binder, type up a sheet of paper, and type up a profile. So a paragraph, some bullet points, I don't really care, but take it out of the questionnaire format, because the questions are just there to get you to prompt you to come up with, who your ideal client is, what they look like, get to know them very, very well, and then create an ideal client profile. The other exercise I'm going to have you do is you're going to, again, thinking this through, the reason I'm having you do these exercises because it challenges your brain and your mind to think these things through, is that you're going to identify very specific problems that your ideal clients have. Because prospective clients are looking for solutions to their problems, needs, challenges, desires. They're not necessarily looking for your specific service yet. They're just like searching for something. And they might not even know they're searching for something until they hear you, read you, whatever. So you're going to identify the problems they want solved. This is in a chart. So on the far right, their problem. In the middle, the solution they're seeking or the results, goals they want to achieve. So you might think they're searching for some kind of spiritual peace. The solution they're seeking is a meditation class. Wrong. That's not the solution they're seeking. Right? So they are, they have some angst in their life. And the other thing you might want to ask is, well, why are they spiritually minded? What are they seeking? Why do they want that? Is it because of a value in their life? Are they seeking community? Again, it's not really a problem, but it's a desire, it's a need. The challenge is, I don't have a community of people that are like-minded. I would like one. So you can translate, quote, problem into that too. But that column there, that far left-hand column is for that. Their problem, need, challenge, desire. And the solution that they're seeking isn't your service. That's where you put way over here on the right-hand column. What is the actual solution they're seeking? That's pain relief, being able to drive my car again. If my low back pain is so much, I can't drive my car. Getting into proper clothes, feeling good about myself because I'm not 50 pounds overweight anymore, my ideal weight. I feel confident about myself. I feel lovable. That's the solution they're seeking. Peace of being a complete, solid, grounded peace when, everybody else around me is in chaos. So being that calm in the eye of any storm. So if somebody works in a very high-stress environment, you want to know that about them. Even if some characteristic and aspect of their life is not on your ideal client list, you're going to want to know what's going on in their life. You have to know that. You're required to know that. You're the professional. They're seeking your services. So get to know your client, your prospective client, what's going on in their life. Write their problems down. And you can extend this list. It doesn't have to be stuck with just the number I gave you in your chart. By the way, you'll get it in an email after this. And then again, identify that solution, the possible solution, result, or goal that they want to achieve, the experience they want to have. And then finally, what is your product or service that provides that? Even if you're writing I put being responsible here because this is you being responsible. The reason people shy away from this about really getting, let me see if I can do this. It didn't do it well with me last time, so I'm going to highlight this right here. This part right here, the solution they're seeking. People shy away from this in this field because they don't want to be presumptuous. Well, I don't know. What if they don't get that result? Well, gosh, you either have confidence in your service or product or you don't. And you either know absolutely that if that person applies your service and product, they're going to get that result. I know that. That's why I'm so passionate about the work that I do, because I know definitively that if people apply and get in and apply the coaching I give them and start to become consistent and build these systems and structures in their business, they are going to get that result that they want. I know that because I've seen it demonstrated again and again and again and again. So let me undo this.
She's totally right, too. This is Abby.
I'm totally what?
You're totally right. I worked with you for 2.5 years.
Yeah, so if you're afraid
you know what you're doing, you're good. Yeah, she's totally right.
So
that's all.
You got to be responsible for the goals and the results that you know you can produce. and be bold about it. Don't be a victim. Like, I don't know. I don't want to assert that they can get anything. I mean, I don't want to name any one particular industry, so I won't. But there's one particular industry that the common thing that I would hear back from these practitioners was, no, we're not supposed to interfere with the client's process. It's all their process. I'm just going to apply my treatment and nothing more. But that's, in today's world, that doesn't really work. People need you to connect the dots. They need you to tell them, here's the result you could get if you applied this solution. So I want you to be very clear about, or if your solution being your service or product, I want you to be very clear about the result that people could get. Don't be shy about this, because it needs to be in your speaking later on in that relationship development sequence. All right, so that's the other exercise you have this week. And, oh, come on. There we go. Now we're at the question-asking phase. So what questions do you have from any of the previous stuff we covered? And I went really fast. So I told you at the beginning there's a lot of data in this. So like I said, I'll send you the PDF. But what questions do you have before we end tonight?
I probably won't find my questions until I start doing the worksheet.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
We'll have a lot of questions when we start next week session. So here's a question I got from somebody who will be joining us next time. Is Yelp advertising or Groupon a good thing to do? Well, a great question, because that's a lot of people have. Is this tactic or that tactic a good thing? And my answer to that is it depends. You got to know who you, first of all, do you have a budget? Because Yelp apparently charges a bunch to advertise on their site. First of all, you got to understand, do you have a budget for any of this? And if you don't have a budget for marketing, forget it. Don't spend money. Don't throw money at stuff. Right? Learn what we're going to be learning in this boot camp so you can not have to spend money on your marketing and still have a good, steady flow of clients. But the other thing is, you got to know your audience. How do you know that your audience how do we know that your ideal client is cruising Yelp to find you? We don't know that. That's why you want to be very clear. Do my clients find me from the Internet? For some of you, you don't want that because they're really flaky clients. For others, like my business, I don't have just local clients. I have clients all over the country and the world, and the only way they can run into me and start that relationship is via the Internet. And plus, I don't have to work in an intimate setting with people. So you got to, if you do want your clients coming from the Internet, great, you should identify that. But I told this person I couldn't really answer that question very well because I didn't have enough information. But I gave them a few pieces of advice around budget and all of that. And look, if you just don't have a budget, don't spend money on advertising, because otherwise you're experimenting. If you don't know your strategy yet and somebody's trying to sell you advertising, step away, push the pause button, and wait till you decide what your marketing strategy needs to be, and does that strategy require money and budget, and then proceed. So, and some of you in the helping and healing fields know that Groupon's kind of a big deal, and I just think those forms of marketing draw a kind of client that isn't really set up to last. And the kinds of business building and retention I like to coach people to do is, attract people that actually want a long-term relationship with you. And there's a clue to another ideal client characteristic. They want a long-term relationship with me. That should be yours. All right, so I'm going to recap the homework. Purchase a 3-ring binder, name it marketing, print out your assignments, put them all in there. You're going to work on your ideal client profile questionnaire. You're going to devise and come up with an ideal client profile for each of your different revenue streams if you have one. And hey, in this program, just work on one. Don't think you have to get all of it done. just choose one to train yourself with. Now, and that way, I could just hear the relief happening. And then the problem solution exercise, and that'll kind of get us started so that we can start crafting the vocabulary and language next session based on who we know our audience is going to be. Okay?
Okay.
All right. If there's no questions, any? All right. Awesome. You've been great. Thank you for your participation. There's going to be a lot more next time. And if you have any questions in midweek, don't hesitate to email me. I'm available. I may not get back to you for a couple of days, so I'm really busy. But please do email me.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
You're so welcome, and talk to you next week.
Thank you. Thanks, Renee.
Thank you, Renee.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.